Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with my Harlequin weekly TBR, my Harlequin project TBR I should say, and this is for week 29, July 16th through the 22nd. Now, as I mentioned in these, the dates really don't mean too much of anything. It's kind of more of a way for me to be able to keep organized on which books I'm reading. These do, like my regular TBR as well now, carry over week to week. So I will get to these when I get to these, but these are essentially next on the list after the ones I already have on my list. And I have some fun ones for this week. I am very, very excited. So for those of you who might be new, I will leave a link in the description box below to my original Harlequin project video. It has changed ever so slightly. Originally, I was trying to read through all the box sets in order of release date, but now I'm actually picking books off of my physical shelves and reading those. So the books that I'm picking are ones that I already have logged on Goodreads. So this isn't everything that I have right now, just the books that I have cataloged and added to Goodreads. So as you can see, this bottom shelf right here, there are, and you look at the one just above it, you can notice that there are books missing. So I'm slowly, you're going to see like over the course of the next few weeks, this shelf kind of getting emptied and books put back, and then this one, and then that one. So it's an ongoing process. I would like to get it done by the end of the summer, but let's be more realistic. It'll probably be by the end of the year, but still, that's fine. So what I basically do is I pick 3 books at random. I look at I have a shelf on Goodreads that is labeled category unread, or like category romance books, essentially unread. And I randomize that list 3 times and I get 3 different books. So for this month though, I am kind of cherry picking one book. And that is because I am co-hosting the Retro Romance Readathon for the month of July. It is Christmas in July. The book I have is not a Christmas book. I have not come across a retro Christmas book yet. I have to do some more digging. I think I'm going to have to go through some of these shelves and actually try and find one, which will be for next week. But for this week, we have a non-Christmas one. But this book came out back in 1996, so it fits the vintage theme, or retro theme, I should say. And retro is anything prior to 2003. This is co-hosted. Storm over at Storm Reads created this readathon. Link to her channel in the description box below as well. I am tagging along as a co-host. So yeah, just to pretty much get through some of these more vintage books. And like I said, vintage, anything prior to 2003. So this one, like I said, is from 96. It's from April of 1996. And this is the Cupid Chronicles by Ruth Jean Dale. This is number 687 in the Harlequin romance line. I love this cover. So as soon as I was going through my shelves and I was cataloging stuff this morning, I came across this book. And it's the 3rd book in the Camerons of Colorado series, which I know would make a lot of you twitch who must read books in order. I'm fine with it. This is a book from 96. Chances are these are not available digitally. So if I wanted to read the first book, I probably need to hunt it out on thrift books, which if I enjoy this one, I just might grab the first 2 on thrift books if I can find them. So I love the cover. So we've got him in this very fancy suit with a very fancy watch. I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but he's holding glasses in his hand. And then she's like this sassy cowgirl with her belly, her little crop shirt and her cowboy hat and her dark hair. I just think it looks delightful. So yeah, as soon as I pulled this one off the shelf, I thought, okay, this is definitely an opposites attract romance. Cupid, Colorado. This is ranch country, cowboy country, a land of high mountains and swift cold rivers, of deer, elk, and bear. The first Cameron came to Colorado more than 100 years ago, and Camerons have owned and worked at the Straight Arrow Ranch, the largest spread in these parts, ever since. Horse wrestling in Cupid, where the locals take their horses real serious and real personal. Julie Cameron, for instance, believes hanging's too good for horse thieves. They ought to be drawn and quartered. And she's out to single-handedly bring it down the gang. An ambition that doesn't make undercover cop Max Mackenzie's job any easier. Still, it's a great reason to cozy up with the prettiest gal in town. So someone is obviously stealing horses. It sounds like he is an undercover cop. So yeah, I am very, very intrigued by this one. It looks delightful, like I said. This will be a really fun read. Next up, I got a Duets novel. So these are always 2 books in one. And so they are 2 full-length novels in one book. And these are not, okay, now some of these may now be published individually digitally. But these were never published singly. They were only ever published in a physical format in this book. That was the whole point of the Duets line, is that you got 2 brand new books in one book. And I've talked about these before. Sometimes they have a theme, sometimes they don't, sometimes the stories interact with each other, sometimes they don't. You know, it really all depends. And this one looks super, super cute. And I have a feeling now, looking at the cover, I don't know whether this takes place at Christmas or not. I don't think so. I think it just so happens that it's snowing outside. See that? So the 2 books in here, and I'm going to be reading both of them, is A Regular Joe by Carol Finch and Mr. Right Under Her Nose by Jennifer Drew. So let me read the back of this one for you. A Regular Joe. CEO Daniel Grayson wanted to escape his frustrating corporate world, so he assumed a fake identity to go mingle with the masses. When store manager Maddie Rowland hired Joe Gray, he seemed like a godsend, and against company policy, she was soon shamelessly exchanging kisses with her handsome new hire, until the day she found out he was no regular Joe. So he is clearly her boss, and yeah, I love that. The next one is Mr. Right Under Her Nose. And we have 1 minute, Kim Grant was stuffing spilled lingerie into her busted suitcase. The next, her fingers connected with steel, under silk, as White Knight Rick Taylor helped her to save face. Her rescuer was sexy, intelligent, and stood between her and the sole rental car she needed to get home. So before long, Kim found herself on a cross-country adventure with a man who had all the makings of Mr. Right, except he was dead set against marriage. So a road trip romance, which you guys know I absolutely love. Yes, these both sound fantastic. As you can tell, they have nothing to do with each other, or so it sounds. You know, if I get reading, maybe it turns out that Maddie and Kim are best friends or something like that. But yeah, I cannot wait. The Duets books are the first Harlequin books I ever read, like full on read, the first one I ever picked up myself. And they have always held a special place in my heart. So yay on this one. This is a fairly new purchase for me as well. I just got this one last week, I think, and it just so happened to come up on my spinner. And last but not least, we have a shorter little book here. We have a Harlequin romance. The line that started it all. Gorgeous cover on this one. We have The Last Minute Marriage by Marian Lennox. And this is part of the Contract Bride series. So look at that. Obviously, I believe that's New York, it looks like. But absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Rita Award-winning author, it says on the front. So this is number 3832, and this is from February of 2005. So, she had everything except her husband's love. Petra and Marcus had a wonderful whirlwind wedding, but their vows are a sham. It's a marriage of convenience. Now billionaire Marcus Benson is showering his bride with gifts and offering a life of luxury. Surely that would be a dream come true for penniless Peta. P-E-T-A. No, Peta wants him, not gifts or money. She started to realize she's falling in love with her convenient groom, but Marcus has built impenetrable walls around his heart. It's got to be Petra. Got what it takes to knock them down. And it says, contract brides from paper marriages to wedded bliss. And these are really short, quick little reads, these Harlequin romance books. I love them a lot. So yeah, I am really looking forward to this one. And I didn't mention, this is number 45 in the Duets line and is actually from February of 2001. So this also counts for the Retro Romance Readathon. So that's exciting. But yeah, so there are my 3 picks for this week. Or 3 picks that are going to be next, I guess, on my list. Let me know, have you guys read any of these ones? I don't know what might be available and what might not be available digitally. I did not check that. I should start checking that going forward for you guys. But yeah, if they are not, like, check Amazon. And if they are not, you know, if you're really interested, maybe go on Thrift Books and see if you can find them. Yeah, for yourself. So anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today's video. I will check in with you in my next one. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.